Get ready for an unforgettable experience at the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Join us as we bring together all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians under one banner for 4 days of powerful brotherhood and sisterhood.
I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I subscribed, they don't know how I did it. Got it
Day 1 kicks off with the Round Table of Truth podcast featuring Captain of 13,000 Mauquai. Also, we will be having a breakfast and sip event at 12355 Gratiot Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Then, we will be having scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then later, we will be having game night. On August the 2nd, we will be having a street teaching and a food and clothing giveaway at the Detroit Transit Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then you can join 13 Shield Commanding General Yahanna for a powerful discussion. Are demons real and are they among us? From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. After that, we will be having late night activities at our bar on 21530 Gratiot Avenue. On August the 3rd, we will be visiting the Charles H. Wright Museum from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And join us at the Action Impact Gun Range from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. We having an album release party at Flood Bar and Grill for none other than Captain of 13,000 of Cod Abaraya. Then, last but not least, we will be having the 7th annual Midwest Barbecue at Chandler Park from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is not like any other barbecue you ever been to. Bring your children, bring your family and friends. It's free food and it's a safe environment. Also, get you a room at our hotel for special rates. Book now for a comfortable stay close to all of the action.
Purchase your tracks today.
Support the Midwest Fire Weekend by donating to our GoFundMe. Visit the GoFundMe link in the description or scan the QR code to make a difference.
Boston, it made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. I.S.U.P.K whole court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage to?
We getting ready to have a Midwest Fire Weekend.
The I.S.U.P.K Chicago coming at you once again to let you know about the Midwest Fire Weekend.
Came to speak to you about some events we're having in Detroit, Michigan. Fire Weekend, Thursday, August 1st to Sunday, August 4th.
Inviting all single blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians to our Midwest Fire Weekend.
And we know what it is. It's that time of the year again. It's the Midwest Fire Weekend, hosted by Captain 13,000 Mauquai, August 1st through the 4th.
Real I.S.U.P.K Kentucky here to invite every so-called black, Hispanic, and North American Indian to the Midwest Fire Weekend, Detroit, Michigan, August 1st through the 4th.
Tune into the Midwest Fire Weekend from August 1st to the 4th.
Don't miss out on this incredible event. Join us for the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Visit www.isupk.com or scan the QR code for more information.
Des Moines. Change the damn spelling of the shit, man. Call it Des Moines.
Hell, listen, Yahanna Shabrak Thumb. You know, tonight's scripture breakdown in DC. We're gonna rock it out. We're gonna give you all a taste of the dependence that we have that the oppressor gonna celebrate tomorrow. Right? Everything he's celebrating tomorrow is reflecting on how dependent he know his slaves and the heathens are, you know, on him. You know what I mean? Because we ain't using that no more. It's done.
No, it's not done, sir.
Oh, it's just we need the mics. I got you. So without, we don't need it without until we get it. I got you. That's what we're gonna work on next. You know what I mean? So, of course, if you have any questions, type them in. If you're in class, just raise your hand. If you have any, we're gonna go into it a little bit. Just lost my train of thought. Right. If you have any questions on 4th of July, of course you could raise your hands on it. Just know that celebrating that Independence Day is if you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, is a dishonor to your forefathers and foremothers. It's a dishonor to your people. It's a dishonor to the native people who are your brothers and sisters. And you're dishonoring yourself. The oppressor knows that when he was celebrating Independence Day, 1776, right? July 3rd or July 4th, 1776. He knew that he had slaves cooking food, still in the fields, slaves that he could bid to war, slaves that he could send to fetch his horse, as he himself tried to get away from what he would determine slavery, what he would determine oppression, what he would call being ruled over unjustly, right? As he was trying to free himself, he would not free the slaves. You get the point? And that lets you know with the oppressor, freedom has to come by with bloodshed. Freedom with him, he doesn't respect the freedom he gives you. Every independence, every modern country's independence today, they have received it like a gift. Like how you would go get a driver's license, or you receive mail. You receive it. It's different from when you go and you take it. And that's the only thing he respects, when you go take it. Unfortunately, in this kingdom, the Lord would not be with us taking it ourselves unless he is involved. You understand? And that's what the Bible says. The Bible says in that day, the Lord is going to step in. He's going to step in and he will handle some things. So let's start with that. Let's get on Jeremiah 16. Come on.
There's a question online.
Okay. Okay, what we got? A question? Or this person is being
Nah, it's a question.
A retard. Come on.
The question is from Jonathan Israel. It says, 1 Corinthians 6:9. Can you really, I'm guessing they break this down to me about whoremongering? I'm not sure how to define it. If I give a young lady a few dollars, is that making me a whoremonger?
I don't know. If that young lady is your daughter, I would ask you what you're giving her a few dollars for. Yeah, I mean, it depends on who the young lady is and what you're giving her the money for.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
What's going on, priest?
I to have said that's something okay.
Most I encourage that. Take your time. Right? It depends. I would think that you're grown enough to know exactly.
Yes, so like I might have a young brother on the outside who want to meet in front of the school now, so you might come in a little bit. So, all
right, no sweat. Make sure you pat him down good when he come in. All right. Just pat him down real good. Give him the full rundown, and let him come in the class. Let him know he can ask his questions too. All right. All right, most I encourage her. Right. So the brother who asked the question, I would think you're old enough to know that if you're paying for sex, you're weak. All right. But I will definitely give you the understanding of the scripture whoremonger. And is, it's different than what you think. Okay. So what's the precept he wanted?
1 Corinthians 6:9, sir.
Come.
Please.
Come. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God.
Right, so he's saying, know ye is like almost like a question he asking. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall, where you at again? 1 Corinthians what? 6 and 9. Hold on, let me just catch up with you. All right. Y'all don't watch this Bible funny. I see Shapat look up. This Bible older than Israelite groups are. This joker here is older than Israelite groups. This little section here where Jeremiah struggling. This was a day we read in the rain in DC, brother. In the rain. You get the point? Y'all don't watch this Bible. This Bible got more rank than your bishop. Yeah, I mean, this Bible got more rank than your bishop, Negro. That's my fault. This computer ain't even need to be up here. Don't worry. I got it. Hold up. They're not like us. All right. Let me get this. Let me get this, y'all. 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, right? I think I'm at 7. All right, let's get it. See it again.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God?
Right. So he's asking a question, right? Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Like this is not something you know. You're supposed to already know this. Like the kingdom of the Most High is a place that people who obey him are going to live there. And because of the Christian church, we think righteousness is a feeling. It's a, a emotional feeling that overcomes you. That's not righteousness. Righteousness ain't got nothing to do with how you feel. Righteousness is equating to what you would call a good American citizen. What if you was to describe a good American upstanding citizen? What's the first thing Esau say?
Law abiding.
That's not the first thing he say. But you're right. Say?
White.
First, there's their nationality. Second, I'll take that for first. That wasn't the first I was thinking about. The first I'm thinking about is what they always say. I pay my taxes. They always say that. So much so, Trump got investigated about his taxes because that's damn near the flag of a upstanding citizen. Go ahead. No sweat. Just let him go ahead and sit. If you have any questions, because I can't see him now, I ain't got no TV right here. But if you have any questions, brother, just raise your hand. The brothers will get to you, all right?
Thanks.
All right, no sweat, brother. All right. So now they the paying the taxes is like a flag of any upstanding American citizen, right? What is the equal of that in the Bible?
My name is Mike.
It'll be paying your tithes. It will be paying your tithes, right? That's counted for righteousness, just like it's counted as being a good American citizen. They'll say America is for good tax, my good old tax-paying dollars. I pay my taxes. They don't pay taxes. They look at you like you a terrorist. You ain't paying taxes? They look at you horribly wrong because the white man don't like to lose no kind of money for nothing. So he's mad at the government for even taking his taxes, but he understands they need to take it, so he'll pay it. But anything comes up, I pay my taxes. I obey these laws. I'm a good, upstanding citizen. I should enjoy the benefits of America. Know ye not that the righteous will inherit the kingdom of God? You obey the Lord, the kingdom of heaven is for you. And it has nothing to do with how you feel and how you hustle the bush and cry or you fill with the Holy Spirit, and all of that is Christian bullshit. Because the preacher is hushkilla bushkilla and filled with the Holy Spirit and is molesting everybody's children, right, and having sex with everybody's wife and breaking up marriages. You get the point? That's what's going on in the church, where they're full of feeling. But the kingdom of heaven is about obeying God. Obeying God. Now, To obey God, you are going to have the Holy Spirit. You're going to have a separate vibe, a separate spirit. You're going to have courage, because to obey God, it's a fearful thing if you're a sinner. If you're coming out of the world, to obey God is rough. It's hard because you're done stuck in your ways, one. Number two, you come out of the world, you're trying to obey the Lord. It could be something where your life as you know it is destroyed. Because if you're a grown man or grown woman, your so-called spouse is now going to look at you funny. Your husband or your wife is going to look at you funny because you come in with this, Israelite nonsense, or this truth nonsense, or this Bible nonsense. And they don't believe that because they grew up with Christmas and birthdays and all that type of stuff. So it could destroy your life. It could literally destroy your life. Depends on where, what background you're coming from. You decide to turn your back on certain people. Now, certain people might not want to, let you leave. And now you're going to have to stand up in the thing and know what it is. And if you're brave enough to do it and obey the Lord regardless, you would realize that the Lord will step in and intervene for you in everything.
Right.
You get the point? So that's really the spirit of it. Know ye not that the righteous will inherit the kingdom of God. The righteous is talking about those who obey God's laws, just like a good, upstanding American obeys America's laws. You get the point? You have to interrupt that. Select your brother in class now. You might All right, keep going.
Sir, I got it. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? But be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind.
Right, but be not deceived. Adulterers. I read this again, run down the whole thing.
Neither fornicators nor adulterers.
And when he said be not deceived, he's saying don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Shapati, do me a favor. You could cut this back. You might could take it fully off. Twice, the one on the outside, all right? Outside. Yeah, that's it. All right. Go ahead. Say it again.
Neither fornicators nor idolaters nor adulterers.
Not fornicators. What is fornication in the Bible? Salaki. No, you had the honor for something else?
Oh, no, I was kind of just saying to myself, when I read this, I name off all the things that mention the LGBTQ.
Well, that's one thing. That's one thing. However, there's way more than that. You understand? And again, of course, they're sinners, but I would be a fool to have everybody just focus on them and not talk about the crackhead or the molester or the nigga that ain't paying tithes. You get the point? It's ridiculous to just focus just on them and let everybody else skate, even though they fully foul. You understand? So read it again. Fornicators. What is fornication in the Bible? Go ahead.
Unlawful sex.
Any unlawful sex, right? Anything that's unlawful. Now, it's easier to describe what's lawful. So, what in the Bible? What is lawful sex?
Man with a woman.
Man with a woman. Woman with a man. A man with multiple women, not at the same time. All that is lawful. Meaning, a man who could have multiple wives just can't have sex with them at the same time. A man having sex with a woman, woman having sex with a man, that's lawful. Anything outside of that is unlawful sex. Go ahead.
It's like you gotta be with his own race.
It's a Tawada. Got to be with his or her. Again, you have to make it wholesome. You have to start to prepare wholesome meals for Israel. It can't just be with his own race. What about her? You get the point? His or her own. Get the point? Saying something? Go ahead.
My name is Michael, okay?
No sweat, brother.
If a guy got multiple wives,
Turn that volume up.
He can also treat them.
Okay, hold on 1 second, brother. So, see if you could get that camera closer to him, bring it closer to him, or him go to closer to the camera so I could hear him better.
If you have, if a guy got
and just tell him to repeat his question.
If a guy got multiple wives, he can also treat them equal, not so.
What do you mean treat them equal?
As in, if say like he has one here, he has one here with got children before. Got one here, got one here. Different houses. I'm just
okay.
Right? And yeah, well, say like they need certain things from him.
Okay.
He have to treat each and every one of them equal. So he cannot go about go and treat buys more than one for this one, more than one for this one, and one less than one. That's so. You gotta treat them each of them equal.
Okay, not really. Is what you, I understand what you're saying, but how you wording it, where you say treat them equal, you shouldn't word it like that. And I'm gonna explain to you why you shouldn't word it like that. Each person is different. Each sister is different, and each marriage is a different situation. You understand? You may have, everybody would start with one wife, your first wife. You may be with her for a very long time. So now that marriage has accumulated things due to time. That's just natural. Then you may take another rib who is a different age. She might be older. She probably already have things. So there's not as much building up of this woman as with the first one. Or this one might be younger. So now she has a different path. She had to go to school. You got to make sure she's learning what she needs to learn. You understand what I'm saying? So everyone is different. So when you say treat them equally, verbalizing it like that, it sends the wrong message. All right. Let me give you the scripture. Give me hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 Peter 3:7. Give me 1 Peter 3:7. Hold the one we at, right? So I don't finish that. I don't want to forget that scripture. 1 Peter 3:7. Okay, go ahead.
Book of 1 Peter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husband, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Say it one more time.
Book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Right? That's what Paul was saying here. He's saying, dwell with them according to knowledge. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them ribs according to knowledge, with wisdom, giving honor to the wife as the weaker vessel. That's the first thing you have to understand, is she's not a man. She's not a brother. Men are wired different mentally and psychologically, emotionally, physically. We wire different. A woman is different. So he's saying, deal with her with wisdom. Secondly, each woman is different. She's coming from a different background. One rib might have grew up with both parents. The other one probably grew up in foster care. You can't be equal with them, because what's the danger of you being equal in the way the brother explained it? What's the danger? What's the danger as you as a man being equal with both of them?
I can't say.
Come, you're looking at me lost. Come on, Shapat.
The one that's in foster care doesn't know love and relationships like the other one does. You know what I mean? So, like,
Okay, I wouldn't even say that, because sometimes it's the other way around. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Because the one who grew up with the parents grew up with what kind of parents? Christian. So sometimes it do be the other way around.
I would say with one sister, you can give her a little more leeway.
I wouldn't even say that. Okay, this is what you need to focus on with multiple wives. You. And let me explain this. As you dealing with them equally, as the brother said, your expectation from them is also going to be equal, because you're giving them equal, which is asinine. You're setting yourself up. It's like if you have kids, the oldest son, you can't deal with him as the 5-year-old. It's just ridiculous. You deal with them according to knowledge, according to what you know and what you know about them and what the Lord said. So how you described it, brother, I would not put it like that. You probably want to describe it as being just with them. Just means according to the law. You deal with them lawfully. You deal with them the right way. You get the point? You're going to have empathy. You're going to have sympathy. You're going to have a lot of patience. You understand? And with that, you're going to also have to be able to correct. So you're also going to have to be able to correct them both, or one, or 2 out of the 3, or 3 out of the 5. And still, when you go to the other, it's a total switch of, you just had to check this one, and now the other one, she did nothing wrong. So why are you bringing that, messed up energy there? That's the equal. That's the fair and just balance. But an equal in terms of what you do for one, you have to do for the other, that's not true. That's not accurate. They're going to have different needs. You understand?
Excuse me.
You understand, brother?
Yes, I understand. Excuse Captain. I was going to say, as you said, dealing with them lawfully.
So up, he had to get a little closer. I really can't hear him.
As you said, dealing with them lawfully.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dealing with them lawfully, as in, how can I put it? Dealing with them truthful. And, in a way that not unlawfully, that's what I'm that's why I'm really trying to explain it like.
Yep, that's it. That's exactly it. But you once again, oh, sorry, go ahead. I mean to the
where that you can have a better relationship with them. In a way, say that you won't have no problems, no quarrels, no fights,
Well, okay. If I could interrupt you there, that you're setting yourself up.
Oh,
you're going to have problems. You're going to have quarrels and you're going to have fights. If you think that's never going to happen, if any brother think that's never going to happen, you probably want to rethink getting a woman. Brother, you get a puppy, you're going to yell at the puppy. You get the point. You go like if you mining goat, if you have goats outside, you're going to yell at the goat. The goat going to look at you, chew up your shoe, chew up the fence and a piece of wood, and there's a man. You're going to yell at the goat. That's not how life is. Everything is going to have friction. Your car can't operate without friction. The brake pad and the damn what's the thing the brake pad hug? The rotors to water. The brake pad and the rotors, they have friction in order for the car to move forward. Like the friction is necessary. It's going to happen. So don't say you wouldn't have no problems. More so, you wouldn't have unnecessary problems, because some things are necessary. Some arguments are necessary. Some problems are necessary. Them problems you and a woman might have, they could serve as a purpose to show you something about her, or to show her something about you, or to both show you both something about each other, right? If you're a wise brother and these problems are legit problems and it's not something she's off causing because she's rebelling, this is an opportunity for you to be Superman to her. This is an opportunity for you to just step in there and be smooth and suave and solve that shit like you was eating, cake. And it'll increase her confidence in you, because now every time she call you, shit get fixed. You understand?
Simple.
Or you might have an issue and she could step in and bring the solution and bring it in such a good feminine way where you have a down broad. Yeah, she down with her 10 toes down. So to say problems can't happen is, that's a fallacy, right? It's better problems happen, it's better arguments happen. Those things are good. Those things are good, and it's healthy for a relationship. Now, everything in moderation, though. You understand?
Okay.
All right. Let me get back to the question. All right. If you have any more questions, just raise your hand or say Salak, so you'd help him out, and we'll get to it. All right. All right, no sweat. Where we was 1 Corinthians. Right, fornication, right? Lawful sex is a man and a woman and a man. A man may have multiple women. He just can't have sex with them all at the same time. Right? That's lawful. Everything else is unlawful. Woman to woman, man to man, man to little girl, woman to a little boy, brother and sister. I saw a tape recently that was, boy, my heart break and I get disgusted at the same time. You all know that there's a podcast called Soft White Underbelly. It's a devil like Vlad, but he interview homeless people. He primarily do people from Skid Row, right, in California. And he had this girl on there for about 2 or 3 years. I personally think he was trying to get with the girl because he was checking and talking about, I gave you money, blah, 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 and she went back with the pimp. Anyway, I think the pimp get locked up. So she meet this brother. And of course, they start having casual sex. She's pregnant, right? So I guess he's left the streets. He's trying to pull her away from the streets. So they start doing the family thing, the family reunion stuff, family, introducing each other to the family. So she starts to talk about her aunt. He says that woman sounds familiar. They go meet her family. The aunt starts asking him about his side of the family. Come to find out they're brother and sister. Same father. And brother, as they're sitting there in the interview, you could see it on their face. Like immediately you could see it. Wild, Doc. The white man is the devil. He done took our fathers away, Doc. He done took our fathers away and made it so that a man can't have multiple women. And if he does and they have children, a woman's emotions take trump. And now, you got to hide everything. When if this thing was done openly, this mess would have never happened. And of course, if they was in here, they would have understand that before you touch her, you had to talk to her people. You know what I mean? They'd have found all that out before. Go ahead.
That story is somewhat similar to Terrell Owens, where that's how he found out who his father was.
Oh yeah,
because he liked the girl down the block, and his family was like, "Nah, you can't get with her." He was like, "Well, hell, why not?" And then it came out that her father is his father.
It's his father. See? And they would have never known nothing about nothing. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. So now all that is unlawful sex. So fornicators will never enter the kingdom of heaven. After fornicators, Slacky, Shabbat, what you had?
Slack, I just wanted to, on that right there, you mentioned about the interracial sex. You didn't say nothing about that.
Interracial sex. To what? Interracial sex is, again, cut this one again for me. Just the last one. Right? Interracial sex is unlawful. Right? That's a man or a woman from the nation of, that's the word. A man or a woman from the nation of Israel having sex with anybody else, because sex is marriage according to the Bible. So marrying somebody from another nation, an African, because we are not Africans, right? So Michelle Obama committed fornication by having sex with Barack Obama. She didn't know it, of course, or maybe she did, I don't know. But he's not our people. a man or a woman going with a white man or a white woman, so-called oppressor, like was O.J. Simpson, or any Negro anywhere. You know what I mean? I recently found out, brother, look up this. I know you all know Blake Griffin, right? Blake Griffin, who played for the Clippers, or used to play for the Clippers, I think. Right? His father is a brother. Married a white woman, made Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin married a white woman, and now Blake Griffin's son looks like a devil. I recently found out there's what you all call soccer. There's a footballer in England called Cole Palmer. Pull him up, my George. Cole Palmer. That's the brother. I still can't believe it, but he invited to the Passover as far as I'm concerned right now. Right? Just pull up his image. His name is Cole Palmer. You seen him? No, he's a so-called sensation right now because they say he's so skillful and he doesn't play like the typical white boy. Every now and then you'll find that, and it's usually because of YouTube. These white boys go and watch all the Brazilians, all the South Americans, and learn skill. But he recently took a picture with his grandfather. Pull that picture up. Put up Cole Palmer and his grandfather. You seen it? Sis say, You seen it? Which one you seen? You seen him? You seen him, right? He looked like a devil, right? Pull up the picture with him and his grandfather. You seen it?
Yeah, I have it.
All right, let me know it's up on the screen.
It's up on the screen.
That's his grandfather on his father's side. That's what Benjaminite you're looking at.
Damn.
He had to come to the Passover. Now, this is the problem. Because of Christianity, his foreparents committed fornication, and now he looked like that. You get the point? But that's a brother. That's a black man. And most people ain't going to understand it. But he comes from his father's seed. The seed is the seed. Whatever you plant is what grows. It doesn't matter where you plant it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. The seed is the seed. Every seed will bring forth its own fruit. The Lord doesn't want Israel looking that way. You get the point? You would go to a car dealership. You don't want a Toyota Beamer. You don't want a Mercedes, Volvo. You want what you pay for. The Lord wants us to remain a certain way. The Lord wants us to have that look. He doesn't want that to come, to be norm, because now it's all confusion. You get the point? The Lord doesn't want that. That's part of fornication as well. Go ahead, Armsy. I think you took it the hell off and all. God damn it. Go ahead, no sweat. Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
Now I'm about to say, isn't he? You said he's up and coming in the football, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, he explains it though. Like we the best in everything. So.
Okay, but because of England, there's certain white boys who there's devils and they can play, but they can play because of the internet they could go watch Israel play. And England recently, at one time, England was just white boys playing. Then they started letting Israelites play, which means you're training with this nigga now. You could see, and because they're gonna befriend him so they can learn how he do things. And now they seem to be playing a little bit better. They still ain't good, but he is creating a sensation. You understand? Go ahead.
They say, who was it? Was it China or Japan just beat America in football in the Olympics?
And Austria.
Destroyed them.
And Austria.
In which Olympics?
Just coming. It's on the right here. It was like some qualifier or something like that. Japan,
which football? Our football or your football?
Our football.
I mean, goddamn. Listen, I was just explaining this to Captain Karafi. This side note, and we'll come back on. We was talking about how, because there's a huge football tournament going on called Euro 2024. It's a football competition between the European countries, Germany, Austria, Poland. And it's so even where 10 years ago, teams you would expect to lose is beating England and France. And everybody's like, how is this happening? And people don't understand how much the internet and this global society we live made this world smaller. At one time, when you had to scout a team, you had to send a man dressed in a trench coat to sit in the stands and secretly videotape your team playing, or your training, or go there and write notes. Now I could go on YouTube and watch everything over and over. So the Saudi Arabian is studying your team. So when you go meet him, you're not meeting a team you could trash and beat up 10-0 or 55, whatever. You're meeting somebody who know you go right first before you go left. because they watch 10 different games with you doing that. You understand? So the world damn near becomes so small and equal now where really anybody could beat anybody. You understand? Go ahead.
Even socially, like I remember back in like the 90s and the 80s, if you go to a different city, you would hear all the different slang. They dress different. You actually could look at them like, oh, they from there and they're from there. But because of the internet,
no, everything is different now. Listen, in your NBA, that Wembanyama, whatever, how do you think he gets so good? He ain't playing in the Rockers or in some basketball court with a rim, with a tire, a bike rim on a piece of board in them. He in a coaching school. And after they do physical training, they go in a room and watch Jordan, watch Iverson, watch Kobe, watch LeBron, watch Steph Curry, watch Kyrie Irving, and they go and they train. You see it all the time. Them YouTubers, they put little cones and they say, first you got to do this and your hand does this. Because the white man studies things like a science. For us, we just do what feels natural. And that's our natural skill. He turns it into a science, and now he could mass produce heathens who could do it. And that's because of the world done get smaller. You understand? Let's get back to the scripture, all right? So you have fornicators. What's after that?
Come. Inherit the kingdom of God. Be not deceived, neither fornicators nor idolaters.
Neither fornicators nor idolaters.
Not idolaters.
Right? Idolaters is people who worship idols. So you Christians, you're not getting in. You're not getting in. Your visa revoked. You Muslims, you ain't getting in. You're going and killing each other going over there in Mecca for no reason. You're not getting in. Right? You're worshiping idols. Right? Christians worship. Where's Caesar? I have him here. Christians worship this man here. They bow down and worship him. They say Jesus is God, and this is Jesus in their eyes. The Bible says Christ is black. This is not Jesus. This is Satan. Right? That's Caesar Borgia, the son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. It's a white man that existed that painted himself as Jesus Christ. Christ is black. That's an idol. The rock in Mecca is an idol. Haile Selassie is an idol. Haile Selassie ain't even Rastafarian. He a Christian. You could go and see pictures of his office with Caesar on the damn table. You could pull it up right now. Who else we have? Buddha. You worship yourself. You're atheist. You're into idol worship. You can't inherit the kingdom of God. Right? Who else?
Come. No adulterers.
No adulterers. What is adultery? Definition.
When a man sleeps with another man's woman, when a man sleeps with another man's woman, or when a woman sleeps with a man that's not her husband.
That's adultery. All right. Adultery is okay. Now, some of our laws are more so for men than women, and then some of our laws are more so for women than men. Adultery, the first mention of adultery, the context of it was us as a nation worshiping another god than our power. Right? That's the whole concept of adultery. And it's likened like that because the Lord also refers to us as what? His wife, the bride, or in feminine, because it's natural to possess the feminine. That's why a woman is a man's property. We belong to the Lord. Once you're possessed by someone, it's like you, the feminine part of it. You're owned. You get the point? So now taking it to the husband and wife, even with the man having sex with her, he's an adulterer, but he's an adulterer because of her, because he didn't rape her. You get the point? She opened her legs to him. It doesn't make him less wrong, but if you want to get to the root of the problem, if she never opens her legs, there's no adultery. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the adultery. A man who has sex with another man's woman, or a woman who has sex with a man that's not her husband, that's adultery. You're not getting in. Come on.
Question online says from Jonathan Israel says, those holidays like Easter and Christmas, is that idolatry?
Yes. It's definitely from idol worship. All right. It's absolutely from idol worship. Go ahead.
Okay. Nor effeminate.
Nor effeminate. What's effeminate definition?
A man acting like a woman.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, you have a little sugar in your tongue. You have an extra dip in your hip. You effeminate as could be. Right? You're effeminate. Brother, I ain't gonna lie. I had to get a cat about 2 years ago, right? And recently I had to take the cat somewhere else to stay because we was going out of town. And where I took the cat, that person has a cat. So the two cats square off, brother. And they just start, hissing and just looking at each other funny. And I'm like, nigga, y'all didn't even know each other. And brother, now I understand what it means when somebody say acting pussy. You act just like a pussy. It got to be that, because I'm not looking at them and I'm like, they're just catty and they ain't really fighting. They're just talking shit to each other just off the break, just from seeing each other. One walk in the room, he normally see the next one, he start to growl and look funny and hiss and just start hissing and hissing. I'm like, look at this pussy right here. I was like, now I understand why. It's got to be from that act. It got to be from that. And effeminate is somebody who is not masculine, right? Not masculine. What's the definition of masculine? Aggressive, not passive-aggressive. Passive-aggressive is more on the feminine side. And a man can't be feminine. Leave that for the woman. That's something women do. That's how they're built. Fine. Come on.
It's like they try to dress it up. Back in the day, call it metrosexual.
I think that's something else, but shit, you can take that too if you want. You get the point? You could take that as well. You could add that in. All right, but that's what a effeminate is. A man who has feminine traits. He could be homosexual or LGBTQ or not. Right? You have men who are gay, and then you have men who are not, but they feminine, they're soft. You find that especially in this younger more cases of it in this younger generation. There's cases of it in the older generation too. But in the younger generation, you find it more because men are not in the homes anymore. The oppressor done destroyed our houses. So men are growing up only knowing the feminine side of things, only knowing, how a woman gets angry, how a woman resolves problems, how a woman deals with pressure, how a woman deals with stress. That's all most young brothers see. So, of course, now they're just, extra. Come on.
Concert. There's a viral video going around about this brother who spent like 35 years in prison, and he's first time him meeting his son. And when I first seen it, I thought he was hugging his daughter, because
I think I've seen that one
with a pink dress on.
Okay, that there is not a effeminate act. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Before he did that 35 years, well, it can be, because that boy ain't that old.
He did some time. I forget how many years.
I mean, if he was around in that young boy's life, something was going on between them two. That shit did not look kosher. That should look like somebody was doing something to somebody that they shouldn't have been doing. That's all I'm gonna say. That ain't look right. Even the lean back and he hold him and say, was it worth the wait? Nigga, what the hell are you talking about? Was it worth the wait? Anyway, let's move on to something else, if you don't mind. All right. What else we have? Shit.
Or abusers of themselves with mankind.
Or abusers of themselves with mankind. That for sure. You could put the LGBTQ up in there. All right. You put them up in there because they in there abusing themselves with mankind, with men and women abusing themselves, whether it's sexually and physically after. The LGBTQ community has a very high rate of domestic violence, extremely high, because they're very violent. It's the anger in them they're predisposed to a ton of violence because of the trauma they faced when they was young. Majority of them have been molested young, and they grow up with the anger and they take it out on each other. Whoever is the, subordinate one or the possession gets, wailed on ridiculously bad. All right, come on.
There's some more questions, but this one is in particular with what we're talking about.
Let's go.
It's from David.
Say again, Art.
Shadi, I want to find out something, right? The abusers don't know how to work. That would be like somebody taking steroids and smoking.
I'll come into that, Shah. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this other question, but I'll come in right to that, all right?
Okay.
It says, Damien says, so when we have more than one wife, that's not adultery?
If the woman is yours and doesn't belong to another man, all right? The problem is in this world teaches you that in order to have a woman, you have to leave the one that you're with or take her from somebody else, right? This idea, this world teaches you that romance is something satanic. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. That romance shit that, they teach, especially women from young to want and to feel good about, that shit is satanic. We need to come up with a whole new term. Romance comes from where? Who knows? Rome. And what's the history of Rome?
LGBTQ?
No, not in context. Right? Rome, the word Rome comes from who? Where does it come from?
Romulus.
It comes from Romulus, which is what? One half of the twin brothers. You probably want to pull that up on the screen. Right? One half of the twin brothers. Right? This, and of course, this is all Greco-Roman mythology. This thing didn't exist, but they believe in it, and their city descends from these things. Right? Rome comes from Romulus. And he was one half of a twin called Remus and Romulus. Remus and Romulus were two orphans. Their parents died and they was raised by a she-wolf. And even the symbol of Rome, you brothers in Trinidad, you're supposed to know this. You're familiar with an Italian club called Roma, right? So what, Shaw? Did they? You're familiar with what I'm talking about? There's an Italian football club called Roma. Right? If you look up the symbol of Roma, because that football club is from that place in Rome. Their city is Rome. Like how you have the Chicago Bulls. This is a football club called Roma. Their symbol is the wolf. The she-wolf with the breast, like how a dog would have breasts, and the two boys under her suckling from the breast, because the Romans believe that their city comes from these two boys who was raised by the she-wolf. That's where you hear the term "I was raised by wolves." It really comes from that thing. As that's their way of saying they were savage. Their people come from, like, they're so harsh and fierce and they're savages and they're raised by wolves, and so they were suckling the breast. These two boys, they were twins. They grew up, and what do normal white men do when another white man is around? Think about killing him. That becomes an obsession. And they both struggled and started fighting each other. Romulus won the fight. Romulus killed Remus, and he became triumphant, and that's why the capital is Rome today, from Romulus. Romantic comes from Rome. You're a romantic, like a fanatic, right? Like any other thing that has the ick in front that tells you you are highly obsessed with whatever we talked about before. You're a romantic means you're just highly obsessed about Rome and how Rome operates. And how does Rome operate? Remus and Romulus fighting for their mother's love, a woman's love. That's romantic. So today, romance is always a woman in a bad relationship. Think about every song. I can be boyfriend number 2. I can do it better than he can. Why what's the other song? Every time I'm with you, he calling your phone. Every TV show, y'all remember the famous scene in Belly? He with somebody else woman, and that's what our idea of romance is. Fighting for one woman's love and 2 men. And she's like, oh, I don't know who to choose. This one over here is something. But this guy over here is this. But this one, oh, I don't know. And she faints. And the whole show is these 2 idiots passing thousands of women on the subway, Thousands of women on the street. They're going to buy flowers from a woman to fight for this one broad. And in the end, she don't even choose none of them. That's where romance comes from. You get the point? That's the whole thing about, romantic and romance and all of that type of stuff. How we even get on Rome? What was the question? Oh, right. With the brother asked the question about the multiple wives. So that's what makes it adultery. It's adultery when you try to get somebody else's woman. Now, if you go get a woman and she has no man, none, she's not having sex with anybody, you marry her. You go get another one who has no man, none, she's not having sex with anybody else, you marry her. That's perfectly fine. If you're in the world, I would advise you not to do it. I would tell you come up in here so you could get some wisdom and understanding, because what you could find out is them two bros could plot to put you in the ground. One gonna slit your throat, the other one gonna dig the grave. And that'll be that. I'm just giving it to you straight. We're living in some serious times, brothers. You got to stay focused. And that's what Umar said. We must stay focused, brothers. I'm just giving you fair warning. You know what I mean? I'm giving you fair warning. All right?
Excuse me, Captain.
Go ahead, brother.
One have love, one have hate.
Say that again?
One of the wives have love, and one of the wives have hate.
One of the wives said.
One of the wives have love, and one of the wives have hate in there.
Okay.
So therefore,
go ahead.
Therefore, that means one will show you unconditional love until the day that you die. And the next one will show you hate. It's a slight love, but with more than that is heat. She will show you. She will play like she loves you, but it's more hate, she hates you.
Well, okay. Well, that sometimes happens, brother. That sometimes happens. And that usually happens when they don't know that you having another wife. So she starts to hate you. Why it's good to not lie to her about it. Now, the wives don't have to be all friends. They don't always have to hang out and go out. I'm not saying they have to do that. But they should at least know that you can have more and that you do have more. Some women can't handle it. Some women is fine. They want to meet them and that's that. But sometimes the problem happens when you lie to one. Maybe you make her feel like she's the only one, which is again nonsense. All these songs, any love song, you're the only girl I want in the whole wide world. I give you the sun, the moon, the stars, everything, blah, blah, blah. Now, how that playing into multiple wives? Who's the only one? And now, all the singers who sing that, they all got other women. So what are we talking about? You get the point? The whole thing has to change. And that's what the UPK, the Israelite School of UPK under command of John Yahanna is doing. The culture is changing. The culture of things is changing. The culture of love is changing. What you think is love is changing. So to the brother online, to answer his question, a man having multiple wives is not adultery. Now, you doing a ton of hits and running, nigga, you're an adulterer. And the Lord is going to give you, you're going to give you AIDS. You're going to probably get herpes or syphilis first. Then you're going to get AIDS and die. Go ahead.
It's like, I'm thinking about that song you just talking about. He give the stars, moon, and mountains, and he going to give her everything as soon as he comes home from work.
Yeah, and what's she doing? I mean, I don't understand this shit. I don't know if there's something in me. Since I was a young boy, I never liked no singy, sappy ass songs. Till this day, the shit irks and sickens my head out. I can't hear too much whiny and singy. These young girls today making some R&B songs. I just want to punch the radio out. Some old you just crying on a record about nothing. I can't handle it, brother. Give me that old school stuff. That hold on to your love, brother. I listen to that every day religiously. Like who them broads they was spitting at. They was saying something. Now Whitney Houston, she was saying something. That young Mariah Carey, they was singing to men. They was singing to a man. This old cry, you wouldn't come pick me up. You wouldn't do this. Bitch, shut up. Shut up. Let the music play. Just don't sing no more. Let me hum. Because you're giving my headache. Salakia. God damn. right? So that's the adulterers. Now, the abusing themselves with mankind, of course, the LGBTQ. You have some kind of sexual deviance where you could only have sex with whores. Sometimes that happens. Young brother is molested or sexualized 2 times. Just 2 times. All right. Young brother is molested or abused, and he becomes, that's the word, and he becomes sexualized. Right. He becomes his arousal is now trained because of what he went through when he was young, and now he can only have sex with nasty, dirty ass women. So he's chases whores, right? He chases whores, knowing full well a whore could give him AIDS, knowing full well he could get shot, he could get robbed. He's abusing himself with mankind, and vice versa. Women are doing it now, of course, because of the modern times. Women are getting escorts and doing all kind of nonsense. And these women, they don't know all these escorts and male strippers are, who knows? Who knows?
Oh,
Gay. Y'all don't know that. They all Sodom. So they get in with you because you paying them, but they going and getting bent over, so you're going to get AIDS too. You're abusing yourself with mankind. Now, another abuse of yourself with mankind is you addicts. You addicted to weed. You're addicted to cigarettes. You're addicted to alcohol. You're addicted to pills. As Shah was saying, you start taking steroids, right? And of course, with the steroids, there's medical steroids. There's people who get a steroid shot. They have injuries. They get, you roll your ankle, you have back pains. They give you a steroid shot to help the muscle heal and the cartilage heal. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about them performance-enhancing drugs. Them things that make you, super bulky, and then your emotional state is wild because it messes up your hormones, your chemicals. You're abusing yourself with mankind. You're destroying your body. You're destroying your mind. You can't inherit the kingdom of heaven, just like America. Just like America, right? Joe Biden had to make an example of his drug addict son, old coke head, and love whores. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, he can't inherit the kingdom, just like he can't go and follow in his father's footsteps. It used to be an honorable thing for you to follow in your father's footsteps, right? What footsteps could he follow? Or maybe he is, and we just don't know. Sleepy Joe. Maybe that's why he always so sleepy. He getting that good, pure Colombia now. That shit ain't stepped on. That shit, he getting that full thing delivered to the White House. Sleepy. Right? Let's keep going. Shah, so you understand?
All
right, keep reading. Let me see if I could light this thing here. Bakwash bring a lightsaber in here, brother. I had to figure this. This is a hell of a woo. See, you saw the mice. Luke. Let me try this thing here. Go ahead. Woo, boy, Bakwash, boy. That shit roasting, boy. Come on, Bakwash. Shit, Bakwash. This gonna be hell. I might have to conceal carry this out. I pull this out, and nigga gonna be like, "What you gonna do with that? There's a lightsaber." Get this on a can of them spray, them flip them bug spray, light your ass up. You try to rub my ass. Yeah, boy. Let me stop before I light this whole table up and end up in a console. Go ahead, Art. Yeah, go ahead.
That's small touch.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, this is a pocket-sized destroyer. I'm trying to tell you, I'd light your ass up with this. Listen, and this thing get red quickly. Like the whole flame get red, so you know it's problems. Yikes. I don't know where Bakwash find this out, but I realize Bakwash gonna have to be my minister of weapons. Bakwash gonna find some shit that's gonna light your ass up. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Nor thieves.
Nor thieves. If you're a thief, you're stealing things that don't belong to you, you're not entering in the kingdom of heaven, just like if you're a thief in America. You get the point? And that still covers adultery, because adultery is you taking something that's not yours. I don't belong to you. You're a woman, you having sex with a man that's not your husband, that man is not yours. You get the point? You're a man, you having sex with a woman that's not your wife. She's another man's own. That's you stealing. Interracial marriage. You are having sex with another man's woman. Leave that white woman for that white man. Leave that Chinese woman for that Chinese man, Dave Chappelle. Leave them Africans to them Africans. Leave them alone. You have your people. Go ahead.
No covetous.
No covetous. Same thing. Covetous is what? Jealousy. Jealousy and wanting what somebody else has.
Right.
And that's the beginning of what? Stealing. Because Christ said if you remember, Christ said, if you think on a woman who's married to lust after her, you already commit adultery in your mind. Meaning you're looking at her, you know she married, but you're looking at her all the time. It's only a matter of time before you start. How you doing, sis? What's going on? That man treating you right, that's where it comes from. Because again, the romance is Prince Charming gonna come and rescue me from this terrible dragon that has me locked up in a tower. Now you see where all these little fairy tales, what they're really talking about.
It's like Christians, when they reading in there, before they get to that part, they read the should not lust after a woman. And they talking about you can't lust after any woman that's walking the earth. Like you don't have a wife.
Yeah, but then that's why they ain't doing nothing more than them men lusting after them men in the church. Because it's bad to lust after a woman for them, but lusting after that boy butt, that's perfectly legal for them Christians. Them Christians love that. Yeah, because this flamethrower here is excellent. Yeah, I think we have to put in a bulk order. Yikes, because I'm gonna be just on a random. Yeah, I mean shit. Yeah, what you want? Go ahead.
It's like I'm trying to train to be a Jedi too.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, Luke, the force is with you. Go ahead.
No drunkards.
No drunkards. Again, abusing yourself with mankind. You're a drunkard. You can't control your alcohol, so you get so drunk that you start doing what? Sinning. You can't inherit the kingdom of heaven like that. You're gonna do something. You're gonna hurt people. You're gonna harm people. Right? Go ahead.
No revilers.
No revilers. Go ahead.
No extortioners.
Revilers, to revile. Look up reviler. I want to think it's people who like to do that extra partying, but I think it's something else. I think it got to do with hatred and brotherhood. Look up reviler. It could be this is reveler. No, hold on. Go ahead.
So I got criticize in an abusive or angrily insulting manner.
That's what I was thinking. Right? Reviler. To abuse, attack with evil words. Like revile. You understand? Okay. Like revile. Like you a person who is not in the UK, they have a charge for it. It's called, let me tell you what the charge is. Hold on. Antisocial. They say you're behaving in an antisocial manner. They could lock you up for that shit. You just arguing with people on the streets and shit. You're being antisocial. So you're a reviler. You verbally abusive to everybody. You understand? You don't have no class, which is not how we are. You get the point? We're not that type of people. We're the type of people who, the things we say, it makes movements. You understand? Like it creates movements, it creates industries. We're not that type of people. The oppressor, on the other hand, he's something else. Get the point? So now you'll hear people say, I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, don't keep it real, nigga. Don't keep it real. Lie. Just say something nice out your mouth for once. Just for once in your life. Just say something pleasant out your mouth. Right? Revilers, no extortioners. Extortioners meaning what? somebody who's trying to make you pay so that they don't do something or that they do something. They're trying to, you know, take you for bad, take all your money for no damn reason. All right. Shall inherit the kingdom. Where's the one he wanted with the whoremongers?
I don't know, but this is what he pulls.
Okay, that's what the brother pulled. Yo, he make me waste a whole lot of time. The whoremongers is not here, but whoremongers are not getting in either. And a whoremonger is somebody who sells women. A pimp is a whoremonger. You ask what's wrong with giving a woman a little bit of change? Nothing. Depends on who the woman is and what you're paying her for. Right? But now, if you're paying a prostitute for sex, you're just a weakling act. And you're going after so many men, you might be a little gay too. You might want to check yourself. And I'm saying this out of all love. I put it in proper perspective for you because I don't ever want to lie to you. I don't want you feeling in yourself it's just not that bad when it's worse than what you think. You get the point? If you're paying her for sex, brother, just know that nasty thing just had all members of a man in her mouth just 5 minutes before you. You should check her purse. She got wipes in there. For what? And you're going to give her a little change for what? You could just come in here, brother, and learn to get strong. And I'll tell you a secret. Sisters don't come ask for you. Yep. They're going to come ask for you. They're going to make plays for you, brother, and you ain't going to know. But listen, you could go get that nasty old thing out there if you want to. Hell, what do I care? That's your rod. That's your members. Do with it what you will, brother. Do with it what you will. As for me and my house, we get price choice rib. Choice rib. Not that thing you getting from the shambles. That there's not good. If you want to go pay for it, go pay for it. It's, you know, that's on you. That's your business. It's wrong as hell. But beyond that, it's weak. It's effeminate as hell to go pay for it. It's effeminate as hell to go pay for it, which means if no woman was ever poor or broken from home, you would never get sex. You know how desperate that is? So you mean you need a woman to have no father and get abused by an uncle so you could have sex? Like, that's how you ain't got no game at all. None. Shit. When she would want to give it to you, that's something else. I don't know. That's, you know. Don't tell me where you're from or not now. Don't even come up to me after and say, hey, you answer that question in class. Don't do that, brother. Just come in here and serve, brother. That's a rough one if you want to do that. All right, what else we have?
So is Damien says, Shalom, Jamaica. I have a few scriptures.
Shalom,
Job 32, 21 to 22, then Leviticus 19:15, then Deuteronomy 16 and 19. You
want all those broken down?
That's what I'm guessing. So.
All right, let's start with that other one.
And then there's a quick question, maybe, from YM Israel. It says, is there an appropriate or misappropriate dress attire for a young man in the truth when he's not in class?
Okay, that's a quick one. I'm assuming he means not at his slave, just when he's just not in class, when he's just rolling around. Okay. Give me glorious and warlike apparel. Give me glorious and warlike apparel. All right. Give me put on that beautiful garments as well. So now a young man coming in, if he wants to be in the work, of course, you know, all black. Black boots, black shirt, black pants, black headband or scarf, all black, everything, nothing else on it. And that signals to the camp leader or the teacher or the brothers in the class that you intend to one day be in the service, in the profession of being a priest. So you wear that as you come to the school, you come for high holidays, you come to Passover, you go to different UPK events. You should, you know, rock your all black unless you're told it's tawab if it's okay if you rock something else. All right. Now, on your downtime, you could wear what you want. Some brothers still wear the all black on their downtime, just in the spirit of things. All right. Some brothers do it. You don't have to, but you definitely can. All right, go ahead.
It's like, gotta have your head covered.
On his downtime,
And like,
he just chilling. He just chilling when he's not in class. He's just chilling. That's what he.
He's not listening to class.
He ain't say nothing about listening to class, right? He say when he's not in class, when he's going about his business. You know, I'm thinking, I'm assuming he's meaning his everyday to day life. His everyday to day life as he going about. He's not in class. And I'm assuming, again, he's not out of slavery, so he don't have to wear the slave uniform. What he want to do is dress manly and dress in a way that it gives him respect and honor. All right, give me warlike apparel first, then beautiful garments.
Come. Book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 14, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
The ancient men sat all in the streets, communing together of good things.
Mm-hmm.
And the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel.
So you're a young man, you should always rock glorious and warlike apparel as best you can. As best you can, as best you financially can. Sometimes it's tough, it's tight. And brothers in here make the garments. Shapat make garments. Kazakh make his garments. Barak be making garments. You know what I mean? You could put your creativity in with a little bit of money and some effort, and you could just look like, you know, something just ridiculous, just out of this world. All right. Again, on your own time, you're not confined to the black. But some brothers, I've seen brothers do it. They just wear the black all the time. They just started to wear black all, you know, get black. Their wardrobe started turning into black more. They just do it because they want to, you know, be in the full mind of being a young man or a trooper. They do it. What you don't want to do is wear the black to class, and then you go on your downtime, you start dressing the other way. And again, nothing against brothers in the world, but that dress code is not glorious or warlike. You shouldn't wear no skinny jeans. I'm just trying to help you out. Shouldn't wear no skinny jeans. You know, get yourself a certain distinguished look. Get a belt if you're wearing jeans. You know, tighten up that belt. You know, get a shirt that fits you. You don't have to go the whole skinny tight route, which is the oppressor trying to make our men look like women. You know, look like a man, look like somebody who could be responsible for something. That's what I would advise for you. But of course, this is just advice and counsel, and it's not a rule or a law. And you could wear whatever the hell you want once you leave the school. Go ahead.
So like, I saw a trooper on Facebook. He even took his whole picture off and just put a black with trooper on it.
Listen, sometimes it go there. Sometimes it go there, and a man could do that if you want to. It's not mandatory, but there's brothers who do different things. You know what I mean? But it's good that you're asking, because you're trying to keep a certain spirit when you're away from the school. So, you know, you might want to look into the all black or just wearing good, glorious stuff. You know what I mean? You could get some UPK shirts. Because you're a trooper, you're on downtime, you might as well just wear your UPK shirt, a chain, you rock your headpiece, you know, whatever you want to wear. Again, I'm not forcing you to wear anything, but you could wear those things. But I would advise you to keep the spirit of these of what you're learning, which is strong and masculine, and it's opposite to today's fashion. It's totally opposite to today's fashion. Give me the other one. Put on that beautiful garments.
Is Isaiah 52:1.
Mm-hmm.
Awake, put on thy strength.
Put on thy strength. And that's what happens when you come into the truth as a young man. I'm glad you asked this question too, because I wanted to go into it tonight a little bit. I'm going to get back to it, all right? But as you coming in, the Bible is saying awake, like wake up. Wake up. Sleepy time is over now. Now you no longer could just go on and be, you know, how you were, lackluster and in a daze, not paying attention to what's going on. Now is the time for you to awake and, you know, be sharp and understand what's going on. Put on your strength. Now is the time to stand up. Today, around 4 o'clock, I was getting an Amber Alert. I think everybody get it, right? Some 2-year-old girl went missing. So I'm reading the Amber Alert. 2-year-old girl. I think I took a screenshot. I'm damn that obsessed with this damn thing. Let me read it out. Hold on. Go ahead,
So you said on the way over here?
No, it was about. It's probably the same one. I don't know. Say DC Amber Alert, child Melanie Martin, 3 years old, black female, 2 feet tall, 35 pounds, pink shirt, blue shorts, pink shoes, brown or black hair, and 2 ponytails. Right? Missing. Suspect. And this is where I just lost my mind at. Suspect, black male, 25-year-old, 5'7", 170 pounds, Rashid Jenkins. Call 911 MPD Twitter. So if you know who took her, what is that telling you? This is a domestic issue with the father wanting to see the girl. It's 4th of July. He probably wants her for the weekend, take her to see the fireworks. He's trying to bond with his daughter. Now, I'm postulating, of course. This could be the totally opposite way, but I'm willing to bet some money if anybody want to take a wager that some evil monster, because it's around the 1st of the month, and he ain't bring the amount of money to this girl's mother, that she don't want to let him have the girl. So he's just like, F you, bitch, deuces, I'm out. And he gone with the girl. And of course, the mother is mad. And what she's really mad about is that the daughter will eventually like the father more than her, which always happens because she's evil. And she tells the police he kidnapped the girl, she's missing or whatever. And, you know, my advice, if that's what happened now, my advice to you, brother, is spend all the good time you could with her before they get here, because you're going to jail. They're going to lose you in the prison. They're going to charge you with all kind of kidnapping, especially if that's DC. Oh, federal time. So make sure it's worth it. And I'm saying this in all genuineness. Make sure it's, you know, make sure you spend good time with her, because you're in a rough place. I have no, you know, I can't believe a brother, he just take her and they know who took her and it's for just taking her sake. This sounds like some domestic issue. That's what the hell it sounds like. The whole description, you know what I mean, his first and last name, height, weight, everything. She knows this nigga. She knows him. And she just mad that he ain't bring her back at a certain time or whatever. You broads, just let them niggas have the children, man. What the hell is wrong with you? Just let them have the child. It's not the end of the world. Just let the man have the child. And let that, you know, they're better off with them brothers any damn way. Let's keep going now. Okay. Go ahead. So put on your strength, right? You want to put on your strength and get strong now. Now is a time to be strong, brother. Now is a time to be strong. This is what brothers is going through. This is what brothers is going through. And it's going on everywhere where we are. Whether you're black, Hispanic, you know, or First People, you're going through the curses. And the Lord is saying, put on your strength. Time to put on the Holy Spirit now. You be different. Be different than everybody else. Go against the grain. Go against the current. Whatever they're trying to push on you, you go against it. Go ahead.
O Zion.
O Zion, O children of Zion. Go ahead.
Put on thy beautiful garments.
Put on thy beautiful garments. Right? And this is twofold because, of course, one is talking about putting on the Spirit of the Lord that you wear like you would wear a garment. You walk around with the Spirit of the Lord, not just when you're in school or in the class or at the high holy day, but in your life. You carry it out. You have a family, you carry it out in the family. You're a young man in your family, you carry it out in your family. Whatever it is, you wear the Spirit of the Lord like you would wear clothes. You get the point? Put on your beautiful garments. And also, our culture is to wear glorious apparel, glorious garments with, you know, crafty work. And he's saying, do it, because this is the type of people we are. So, you know, any morning? Okay. Go ahead.
O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean.
You're right. Therefore, no more will come into thee the unclean and the uncircumcised, like what we just read in First Corinthians. Right? He's saying, put on your beautiful garment, put on your strength. So you want to take that as you start putting on your attire in your everyday life. Right? You could go out there normal, you know, playing Joe or playing Jane, however they say it, or you could start to wear UPK stuff, whatever you want, whatever you decide. You don't want to look like a Christian. Right. You don't want to look like everybody else. You know, you don't want to do that. You want to have a separate everything, so that you can fish brothers out of the depths. You get the point? You could fish them out of it into something else. That's what I would advise you to do. All right, brother. Make sure it's masculine. All right. What we have on Quad?
So he said that brother says the water captain.
No sweat, brother.
The other brother that asked the question about the hormones, he says, I need to get off weed badly.
Oh, yes, you do. I'm gonna tell you something now. There's something even more homosexual about smoking, right? At least the camels, or what else, brothers, that smoke up here? The camels and the menthols. At least that comes pre-rolled. But brother, there's something ridiculously nasty about getting the paper, and after you spend about 30 minutes doing this shit here, right? You all got grinders now. I'm from the islands. I'm from the days where you're picking this thing apart with your fingers. After you do that and you make the little valley and you roll and you put this in your mouth and you spit up all over that shit and you and you huck two on that bad boy. You feel me? You huck two on that damn blunt and you roll that joker up back. And then you pass it in between your mouth and lick up and down. And then you're high, so you don't buy good lighters. I have a bad one here. But you use this, you're gonna burn up the whole blunt. You don't lick it all over. You lick it up and down, pause. And then you light it, and then you pass it to your homie. And that nigga put that in his mouth and sucks until the air goes in his mouth. It's very, very gay, brother, to smoke. It's gay. It's too much spit involved and too much lips. I can't tell what's going on. It's a little bit too much spit and too much lips. You huck two on that thing. You feeling me? Right? Yeah, you need to stop, brother. Yeah, and listen, for anybody out there who's struggling with addiction, whether it's weed, whether it's pills, whether it's alcohol, the UPK has an exceptional drug abuse and alcohol program. Exceptional, I guarantee you. No one forces you into it, dude. This is something you got to volunteer and do. And, you could do it. You just call the school. Just call the school, whatever state you're from. Get in contact with the camp right there in your city or state. Call that camp leader, let him know what your situation is. And you're going to get plugged right into it, brother. And I guarantee you stay, or sister, brother or sister, I guarantee you stay and follow those steps. You're going to come out something amazing. Because what you don't know is that weed and that alcohol is taking your strength. It's taking your zeal. It's taking your energy that you could put into doing something amazing for the Lord. I guarantee you, brother. All right. So ain't no sweat. Just, get off the weed, but stop messing with them whores. Stop messing with them whores. You might be safer with the blunts for a while. But them whores, you're going to get something on your lip. As you pass the weed, the nigga going to be like, nigga, what's that on your lip? I don't know, but you got one too. You're going to be passing the STDs on that blunt. That's a ST blunt. A sexually transmitted blunt. God damn it. All right. Go ahead.
T. Will Williams says definitely going to be asking for one of I.S.U.P.K's finest and legit. This system. Where could you was saying?
Oh, listen, brother T. Will, listen. You come up in here, you do some work. You ain't got to ask God. You might have to ask them to stop. I'm trying to tell you. Oh shit, Salaki. God. Okay, so she's saying she's gonna ask for one of UPK's finest. Give her a hand. Her mind is in the right place. Her mind is in the right place. You right, sis. You come up in here, you do your 90 days, you get your new name, you pay your tithes, make yourself useful in the school so your camp leader has only good things to say about you. And after 6 months, you point them out. Point them out. You could either go hunt one down and point them out yourself, or Russian roulette. Just do this. That one. And I guarantee you, I'm just joking. But all the brothers in here are excellent and outstanding. And more so, we have a system in here that, it works to solve any problems. That's why the UPK is perfect. Like Christians like to come to us and say, what, y'all don't sin? That's not what makes us perfect. What makes us perfect is we have the ability and the resources to correct anything that goes wrong, to correct any issue, to fix it. You get the point? You're not perfect because you can't fix what's going on with you. In here, we build men. We restore the nation. That's what makes us perfect. All right. What else we have?
It was a breakdown of those 3 scriptures.
Yeah, let's start with something. Let's keep going.
You got the Job one? Is Job 32, 21 and 22, Leviticus 19 and 20 and 15. 32, 21 and 22.
The book of Job, chapter 32, verse 21. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto man. For I know not to give flattering titles. In so doing, my maker would soon take me away. It's just 22.
21 and 22. That was it.
We'll read it again, sir.
Yeah, please.
Come. Book of Job, chapter 32, verse 21. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto man. Verse 22. For I know not to give flattering titles.
Job what? 32 and 21. All right, go ahead.
Verse 22. For I know not to give flattering titles. In so doing, my maker would soon take me away.
Okay, this, what Job is saying here is he's not going to accept a man's person it's in the spirit of respect of persons, right? So he's not accepting any man's person, or he's not just going along just because of who you are, and neither will he give any flattering titles unto man. He's not going to raise a man up more than what he is or himself. It's more the spirit of being humble, because he's saying, for I know that to give flattering titles, in so doing, my maker would soon take me away. Like, no matter what I gave you an accolade of, or me an accolade of, the Lord could just kill me and none of that shit matters. You understand? So that's what he's saying there. It's more so the spirit of, let me just humble myself and, not think more of me or you than what we really are. Which is, this is what Job was going through as he lost everything. All right. You know?
Yeah, so there's another one, Leviticus 19 and 15. Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Leviticus 19 and what?
19 and 15, sir.
All right. Go ahead one more time.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
Right. It's similar in terms of what we just read, with not respecting person, not because of how somebody is or their status. Now you pass in judgment on it, based on that, versus judging according to the law and whatever action was done. You get what I'm saying? Read Leviticus 19 and 1.
19 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy, for I the Lord thy God, for I the Lord your God am holy. Verse 3, ye shall fear every man his mother and his father, and keep my Sabbaths.
Right. So this is the Lord speaking to Moses, kind of giving him the play, giving him a ball by ball, letting him know what's going on with Israel. And then when you read verse 15, that's when he say you ain't gonna respect the persons, you ain't gonna, judge the poor wrongfully or harshly. You understand what I'm saying? So he just running it down. Man, but watch this thing, cook this coal out. I don't know if you can see this thing out. Under this ash, this coal on the inside is red, brother. Is this the biggest size? You don't know. I'm about to light somebody up. 4th of July. Yeehaw. All right, go ahead. What else we have?
And the last one he has is Deuteronomy 16 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 19. Thou shalt not wrest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift. For a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. Read it one more time.
Deuteronomy 16 and 19. Thou shalt not wrest judgment.
Thou shalt not wrest judgment. What does that mean? What does wrest judgment mean? Anybody? Go ahead, young man.
Not to be so fast to judge?
No. Mm-mm. Anybody? Go ahead, sis.
Is it basically prohibiting judgment from coming?
Yeah, that's more like resting it, meaning like you put it down. Like you're like I'm resting this here. Like how people say give it a rest. Give it a rest already. Like put it down. Thou shalt not wrest judgment. Meaning like Hunter Biden. They rested judgment on that fool. You could imagine they coming in your house, finding evidence of prostitution. You lie on a gun form. That's straight federal time. They're kicking in your door for that shit. And you don't have cocaine and all kind of shit. Everybody in the house going down. Listen, they took down was it the rapper from Atlanta? The one who came out wearing the dress when he first came out. It's the young Thug. They took Young Thug's dog back. You remember the when they had the RICO case and they arrested everybody. You don't remember the picture. He painted the dog green. The dog was in the back of the squad car. You can look it up if I'm lying. The dog went down. But yet still Hunter Biden, they rested judgment. They rested it. You know what I mean? Anything else? That's it?
Thou shalt rest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take.
Thou shalt not rest judgment, right?
Thou shalt not rest judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not respect persons, neither take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise and pervert the words of the righteous.
Right. Don't take no bribes. Don't take no bribes if you make this go away. You get the point? Because everybody looking at Sleepy Joe now, wondering what he gonna do. Remember, he had to come out and say, I will not pardon my son. He had to come out and say it because they was like, well, what will you do for your son? You know what I mean? Because they're expecting him to do the thing. And he had to say if he do the crime, he had to do the time. He gonna pardon his son. He gonna get him off. He's definitely gonna do it. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
There's another question online.
Right, hold on. Is that the end of this?
That was the end of that.
Right, so that is the same thing, brothers. It's all along the same lines, damn near, in spirit. Now, each of them is different because what Job was going through wasn't from a seat of judgment like Moses. Right, the other two he pulled in Leviticus and what was the other one?
Leviticus, Job, and Deuteronomy.
And Deuteronomy. Which one was Deuteronomy? The one we just read? Leviticus and Deuteronomy is more so Moses and the priests and how Israel should be. Job was more so figuring out how he could get on the Lord's side. You understand? Because in his mind, he did something wrong. At first, he didn't think he did nothing wrong. He thought the Lord was punishing him unjustly. And then he came to the realization that, he should accept it because the Lord did it. and then the Lord had to come and venerate him and say you didn't do nothing wrong, and you was right in the spirit for accepting it, and that's that. All right, so it's a little bit different, but in the spirit of what they're talking about, it's kind of the same. All right, what's the other one you had?
It's from the same brother. Now he says, but I'm reading. It says, I need to understand something because we're Benjamin in Jamaica. We smoke a lot of weed. Can I get some scriptures on to understand that?
Yeah, I know Benjamin Jamaica smoke a lot of weed. I know I.S.U.P.K smoke a lot of weed. I know Benjamin and the other islands smoke a lot of weed. I know Judah smoke a lot of weed. It ain't you know it ain't a monopoly or exclusive to Benjamin, right? I know Benjamin is heavily marketed with the weed. But I just explained to you, you saw the napkin. I still got the napkin rolled up here. You still need something else besides that with all that spit going into your mouth. Or okay, I would humor you for a second because I know, of course, in the islands they worship the weed so much they make the chalice, so you don't got to roll nothing up. They have a pipe, like a tobacco pipe, and of course they put the weed in that, or the bong and all this other stuff. It's all gay. You're putting something in your mouth and sucking or blowing, whichever one you want. But that's fine. Give me Proverbs. What I want? 16. Proverbs 16 and 27. Give me that first.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man.
Hold on, Salakia. He unmuted. Trinidad, you had something?
Captain.
Go ahead.
I humbly apologize.
Go ahead.
I humbly apologize, but I have something right now with my family.
No sweat.
Right? I know the home by my grandfather's house, which is his 40 days from his funeral the last time. Okay? So I have to leave. So I apologize for my inconvenience.
No sweat, brother. No sweat, no sweat. Lord be with you, with your family. My condolences to your family too. You could go ahead and leave anytime you want. You're not obligated. But of course, you're welcome to come on back and bring any family or friends you think could benefit from it. You can come on back anytime.
Well, my is more not really more my sister side of family. I grew up with them.
Okay.
Sister side of family. Okay.
No problem.
Right?
Okay.
Same mother, me and my sisters, but different father. But I can bring my stepfather because he has a lot of addiction. He addicted to alcohol at the minute. When he drinks, he has himself looking like a pipe. So I want to try to bring him back, to get him back in.
To other gods. No sweat. Listen, bring him on through, man. Listen, he ain't no worse drunk than any one of us in here, or no worse, weed smoking than anybody else. Just bring everybody in. Just let them know to be respectful, ask the questions, wait until you're called on to ask questions, of course. And we keep things decently and in order, and they'll learn just like we all learning. It's good. It's all good. And again, you're welcome back anytime. I believe they're gonna have the school open up again tomorrow night. And just talk to Officer Sawap Yala, get the number, so you could always call the school for more information. All right.
Okay.
All right. Sawap, sort him out. All right, please.
So will do.
All right. No sweat, brother. The Lord be with you, brother.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. So give me the one in Proverbs and give me light incense to other gods. I think it's, let me see. Hold on. I could be spelling it wrong. Go ahead, give me Proverbs.
And the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
Right. An ungodly man diggeth. Keep reading. I'm breaking them after.
And in his lips there is as in burning fire.
Right. An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips is as a burning fire. So the metaphor is somebody digging up something and then putting it in there, in between their lips, and it burns like a fire. That's the metaphor. But it's telling you, just like that person who digs up this evil thing and puts it in their lips, an ungodly man is digging up something and having it in his mouth, right? That's what it's telling you. The marijuana plant, he had to dig it up out of the ground, and you go harvest it, and you put it in your mouth, and you burn it. It says an ungodly man does that. Smoking is not our culture, right? The Benjamites, especially in Jamaica, gets the whole Rastafarian culture from the East Indians, right? That's where the whole Rastafarian culture comes from the weed smoking and the hemp smoking and the dreadlocks. That doesn't come from Africa or Ethiopia. They ain't no one of Selassie families had dreadlocks. Haile Selassie had no dreadlocks. Haile Selassie was a Christian. He was not, he said he was not God, right? Around that time, a lot of Benjamites looked between what Marcus Garvey said and what the Bible said, and looked at how the Queen of England crowned Selassie I king after he bowed to her. The king of the Bible will never bow to a woman. He bowed down to that queen and he made him King of Kings and Lord of Lords. That's what his title. She gave him that title. And of course, in the Bible, it says King of Kings, Lord of Lords is what's written on Christ's vesture with the image what we have. That image right there, right? That image right there. If you look on it, it says Malak wa Malak, Adawan wa Adawan, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. That's the title from Revelations. But the Ethiopian, they call him King of Kings, Lords of Lords of Ethiopia. And of course, Benjamin rejecting Christianity, just like it's similar to how Judah had rejected Christianity and went into Islam. Benjamin just went into Rastafarianism, right? But now it's married with Hinduism. Rastafarianism is really Hinduism, just worshiping Selassie instead of Krishna. The Hindus pull up any video with the Aguri or Ogu. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you how to spell it. Aguri Hindu. A-G-H-O-R-I. Give me Aguri order or Aguri Hindu or Aguri India. And just pull up the images of them. Shepard, look up that Aguri and find for me anything with them smoking. Just pull up images of them and show everybody the images of the Aguri and tell me that ain't a Rastafarian. There's one here with them smoking good. They're getting good and high. They're getting good and toasted. Look at this one here. Right? Good and toasted. You see the blunt in his fingers, right? You see the blunt in his fingers? And that white stuff on him is ash from dead bodies that they put on him, put on themselves because they worship the dead. They're just a nasty order of religious people. Just nasty as could be. That's Rastafarianism. Look, another one here. The title of this one says, does anybody know anything about Aguris? And look at him sitting down getting high. If you're a Rastafarian, you just an East Indian. That's all. You're a Hindu. You're a wannabe Hindu. I hate to say it like that, but I need to get it through your head that Rastafarianism is a mishmash of Hinduism and worshiping Selassie and Christianity, because Rastafarians believe in Immaculate Conception. They believe in the Trinity, right? Selassie, who it is? Emmanuel, Marcus Garvey, and Selassie. They believe in the Trinity. It's just the church all over again. All right, and the weed is part of that culture of the East Indians. Now, in the Caribbean, the East Indians are our oppressors. Give me Proverbs 3:31 real quick. You have it? 3:31 real quick. Give me Proverbs 3:31 real quick. All right, in the Caribbean, the East Indians are our oppressors, and that's where we get the weed smoking and the dreadlocks from. Read somebody when they have it.
Proverbs 3:31.
Uh-huh.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Say it again.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Say it one more time.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
You shouldn't try to envy him. You try to be him, because he came across an indentured laborer and was making more money and in a better position than our people. And we envied the oppressor. And then we started dreading our hair like them and getting high like them. Right? Rastafarian has nothing to do with Africa. It's an East Indian culture. Envy not the oppressor. Go ahead.
And choose none of his ways.
And choose what of his ways?
None of his ways.
Some of his ways.
None of his ways.
Just the dreadlocks.
None of his ways.
Just the weed.
None of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. The East Indians believe their dreadlocks makes them closer to Krishna. It's an antenna to Shiva and Krishna and all the gods. The Rastafarians believe the hair is from God and all that, mixed up with Samson, when that had nothing to do with Samson. All right. I understand in the islands, Rastafarianism is to Benjamin what Islam is or was to Judah. I understand it's the what we would call the masculine alternative to Christianity. I understand it, but we have to leave that too. We have to leave Islam and we have to leave Rastafarianism. Go ahead, Shapat.
Said they also practice post-mortem cannibalism as well.
Yeah, because they don't, them Aguris, I think I did a whole class on this on the Trinidad page. I'm going to try to post it. Them Aguris, they don't eat regular food. They starve themselves. They believe the body is, because the body is carnal, all the functions of the body is sinful, and it leads you to sin. So if you start eating, eventually you start eating too much and you'll sin. If you start having sex, you'll start having sex too much and you'll sin. So they don't eat, and they'll eat dead flesh. They'll grind up skeletons and paste the self with it. All the white powder you're seeing on them is dead bones and shit. And they practice self-mutilation, which is abusing themselves with mankind. They'll take a stick about this long or longer and wrap their penis, the shaft of the penis. They'll roll it up in the stick, roll it up like how they roll the weed up, and then twist it around between the leg to mutilate themselves, because they pray to, I think their particular group worships one of them female gods, and they say she has to remain pure, and her having Immaculate Conception, her having sex makes her dirty, so they can't stick their dirty rod into her. So to stop their lust for women, mash up that rod, tear it up. Bad rod, bad boy. That's who you honoring every time you light up. Every time you blaze up the chalwa. And that's what Sizzler say, blaze up the chalwa. Every time you do that, you honor them East Indians, brother. And them East Indians is beneath us. And them Ethiopians, good night, they're beneath us. They're definitely not us. All right? We're going to come down there, man. I'm going to talk to 9-5. We got to make a trip down Jamaica, boy. I'm going to take this with me so I could blaze the fire like Capleton. I'm going to be the new fireman now. I'm going to blaze up everything. Everything. Them dreads got to go. They got to go. Rastafarianism got to go. Benjamin, give that up, brother, and come in the truth, brother. It's going to be a revolution for the 12 tribes. Benjamin done have half the nation getting high and worshiping Selassie. You know what I mean? Don't do it. The whole thing could be changed. All right. There's another one too. I'm going to look for it before the class is over, with lighting incense unto other gods. You have it? All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Shapat.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 44, verse 3. Because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods, whom they knew not.
Right, read it again from the top.
From concert. Because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to...
Because of their wickedness to provoke the Lord to anger. Go ahead.
And that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods.
And that they burn incense to serve other gods. And that's what that weed is. That weed is incense. Everybody like that skunk. That skunk, that sticky ooey, gooey ooey. They have all kind of different weed now. I don't know what they got now. I can't tell you the za and the ma and the pa and the weed done in Hebrew. Got za Hebrew, Lashawan weed now. That's what it is. They got the loud pack, the quiet pack, the gas, the this. No wonder you also got them stupid outside. You know what I mean? It's rough. But we don't burn incense to other gods. People just light it because they like the smell. You're burning incense to other gods. You take that draw and what you say, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, something, 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 something. You're burning incense to other gods. You're committing sin. It's not godly at all. Tell any Rasta that in Jamaica he want to fight. We gonna have to fight. But just know we fighting for your soul. You know what I mean? Just understand that part. We fighting you for you, Negro. All right, I have another question here. How should a wife respond when her husband intentionally says things to hurt her when he is angry with her? She should respond like if a brother is saying something intentionally to another brother to hurt him. Give me Matthew 18 and 15.
It's Matthew chapter 18, verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Your husband is still your brother at the end of the day, and you still his sister. And if you're, read it again.
Okay. Moreover, if thy brother,
if thy who?
If thy brother,
if thy husband,
if thy husband,
go ahead,
shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Go tell him his fault between you and him alone. Go talk to him. Go tell him his fault. Tell him what he did wrong to you. Tell him what you're offended about. Go ahead.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
And if he hears you, what does hearing you mean? Salakia, I was wrong. I'm sorry. If he hears you, you've gained your
thy brother.
You've gained your
brother.
You've gained your husband.
Brother.
You've gained your husband.
Brother.
You've gained your brother. If he hears you, woman, you've gained your brother. You go to him, you tell him his fault. If he hears you, you've gained your brother. And him hearing you is him acknowledging the wrong and apologizing for it. Go ahead.
Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee.
But if he will not hear you, if he starts to say, well, listen, the reason I said this is because you did X, Y, Z. And shit, I done told you not to do X, Y, Z and A, B, C. If he rationalizes anything, now he could be right. He could be right in what he's saying, or he could be wrong. He could be wrong in his rationale. Anything other than my fault, Salakia, shouldn't have said that. If he does not hear thee, go ahead.
Then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established.
Take him to counsel. Simple. He don't hear you, take him to counsel. You had to call a counsel over it because he said something to you didn't like, and he is not apologizing for it. He doesn't acknowledge it. He doesn't, or he says you deserve it. You, in your mind, this is not right. You should take him to counsel. This is your brother at the end of the day. Take him to counsel so that you can gain your brother. You could gain him back so that he could see that he's wrong. He could see that he's wrong and made to apologize and be punished with a fine or some sort of punishment, or just get checked. Or you might take him to counsel and find out that you're wrong. and he was not wrong for what he told you, and really he was merciful in what he told you because it could have been worse. Either way, follow those steps. Don't sit on it. Follow those steps so whatever is going on can be remedied and fixed. Because at the end of the day, you want it remedied and fixed. Go ahead.
Two things. One, from a person named Homicide, says, laugh aloud, some don't have the gift to marry. And then Butterfly Beauty says, Salakia, what if your husband refuses to set up a council?
That's the nice part of it. Okay, so the first response was what?
Some don't have the gift to marry.
That's true. Some people don't have the gift to marry. And that happens for many different reasons. It could be trauma. It could be trust issues. It could be age. You just can't marry somebody you can't bond with. And the gift to marry is the bonding part, not necessarily physically, right? Some people, you might have issues going on with you that, it's going to be difficult for you to marry somebody because you can't seal the marriage. But then there's other parts that even though you have sex with the person, you, on the inside, you dead, you cold. You can't bond with anybody. And somebody like that, is just better that you just remain by yourself. You could be a brother or a sister in the school and be kind with everybody and have a drink and go to Passover and talk to people and be cool. But you can't bond with somebody and see them as you. You can't bond with them on that level. And for something like that, it's better, It's definitely, that's absolutely right. Not everybody has to marry. You don't have to. But at the same time, you want to get counsel because in your mind, you might think you can't and you very well can. You just have to get over yourself, which in most cases, that's what it is. Something in you, something in your mind. It's a hurdle you could never just get over. Right? The second part was what?
Slakia, but what if your husband refuses to set up a council?
Well, that's the next beautiful part of how the school is set up. Ideally, a husband and wife would be in the school. Ideally, right? Which means at one point they both had a camp leader. Whether it was the same camp leader because they're in the same city, or different camp leaders because she in one city, the brother in another city. So they would at one point in time, either one of them would be talking to a camp leader. The husband refuses to set up the council. You go to him again. You go to him again. Just a couple times just to go to him. And then you proceed to call the camp leader. Then you proceed to call the camp leader and request a counsel, whether it's a trespass counsel or marriage counsel. There's two, it's different. Trespass is like what was described in the first scenario from the question I got. Your husband said something that offended you. He says things to hurt you, right? That would be a trespass. He did a trespass against you. Another counsel might be marriage, meaning it's not necessarily trespass, but over time, you all are having issues, and it definitely seems like there's miscommunication. You saying A, he's hearing B, he's saying C, you hearing D. You can't, the smallest thing turns into an argument. It's usually because there's some underlying thing that never got dealt with, or there's some underlying feeling that comes from some trauma before that you all don't forget the incident, but the feelings about each other still there. The feelings about each other towards each other still there to the point where you're just looking at this person as well. And you might need marriage counsel. It's not always the husband. Sometimes it's the brother trying to go to counsel and the sister just refused to show up. Refuse to answer the phone, all that. You call the camp leader. You call the camp leader so it could be logged down, it could be passed up, and the council could be set up and scheduled. Now, after that, whoever don't show up, the general might deal with it however he sees fit. There might be a fine issued for who don't show up, or there might be some sort of temporary suspension from UPK because this person doesn't want to show up. It's just like you go to court. You have a problem with your husband or wife, they do it all the time. They go to court. They on Judge Judy and what's the other one? Joe Brown and what's the one who everybody like? Judge Judy, George Brown, Judge Mathis, the other sister Lynn Tola or Tolva or whatever her name is. They're on there all the time. Some broad on there. He wants sex too much. And Lynn is telling her, you know how much women want that problem? It's happening all the time. It's not something, it's not a big deal. You go to court, and here it's called counsel, and you go to counsel, and you get the matter handled. And that's that. You follow the procedure. Just like if you had a headache that lasted too long, you'd go see a doctor. You have an issue with a brother or a sister, you go to him and him alone, or her and her alone, tell them their fault. If they hear you, you've gained that brother or sister. If they don't, you call a counsel. It's the same situation with a trespass with a marriage. Something else with marriage counsel, another scenario with marriage counsel, if something is going on where you're missing, it's obvious there's something missing. Y'all ain't gelling like how it was before, you'll just call a marriage counsel. And that usually probably might have to happen a few times. It ain't just one session. The general would determine, or whoever he has do the counsel would determine, okay, y'all need some more, or y'all go try this and come back, tell me how that go, XYZ. What's the important thing is, if whoever has the issue, follow the steps. And then now the onus is on the other person to follow through or not. And now we can start to unravel where the issue is, where the problem is. You get the point? But it's about following the steps. That's all. Follow the steps.
There's another question.
Come on.
It's from your Nathan Israel says, I have been celibate since I came into the truth, and I'm trying to figure out how to move forward, i.e. marriage, waiting. Can you talk about this, please?
No problem. What city you in? What's his name? Your Nathan Israel? Right? What city you in? The brother who asked the question. We get another question in the meantime.
And then there's no more questions, but Homicide says, Hebrew courts. What you just explained. Like
in essence, what we call it counsel. It's a counsel. You set up a counsel, not counsel like counseling, which is what the marriage counseling is. But counsel is, it's when you look at you ever look at them hearings on Capitol Hill? When they drag Zuckerberg in there and somebody asking him questions about Facebook, and that's counsel. I'm just telling you straight up. I could understand that now because of the UPK. That there, them congressional hearings, that's counsel. That's counsel. You get called down to headquarters, and you had to sit low, and they up high, and you got a glass of water here, and you sipping that, like it's the strongest vodka, and you getting question after question after question after question. You better answer. And you're under oath. You can't lie. You can't perjure yourself. You can't disrespect the counsel. That's what counsel is. All right.
Detroit, sir.
Okay, the brother from Detroit. What you want to do is contact the I.S.U.P.K in Detroit. Right. What the mistake a lot of our people make is thinking you come into the truth by listening to some Israelite group on the internet, and that's it, and never coming into the UPK. If it's not the Israelite school or UPK under command of John Yahanna, you are not in the truth. And that's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. That's right. I'll give that a hand. Listen, get it. Listen, whatever you feel to do in this class, do it. I'll tell you if it's wrong or if it's right. But don't you feel anything. The brother do this right here. Like, yeah, give that a hand. Do it bold, give it a hand. Give it a hand, Because what you would find, is you calling yourself in the truth and you afflicting your soul. Brother say he's been celibate for, however long. Lord knows what, has been going on with you or not going on with you or your mental state because of it. I don't know who told you should be celibate. I don't know, your situation, but I do know you're not in the truth, especially with that name. You know of the truth, but you're not in it. You need to come and be in here and have the truth be in you so you can live it. I would advise you to contact the Israelite School of UPK in Detroit. Who's over Detroit? Captain Hadaya Allah. Give him that number for Detroit. You could type it in the chat. Contact the Detroit School ASAP and go on down there and start getting in class. Ask for counsel. And, they're going to get you up in that number. And you're going to get some counsel on how to move forward. All right. And it's good that you ask, that you're ready to move forward. That lets me know that there's a lot of masculinity in your spirit. There's a lot of masculinity in your spirit. You ain't trying to go off and do your own thing, or you ain't trying to just sit there and whine and complain about something and never complete the task or attack the problem. All right. You trying to handle it, contact the school in Detroit and get some counsel and get in class, get in the truth, get in the I.S.U.P.K on the command journey, Yahanna. You're going to see, brother, it's, no, it could be the same result. Maybe you just continue being as you are, but what you want to find out is if you're going about it the right way. I would say start there. Get in the truth first, and then start to take it up. All right? Anything else? We good? Let me get a couple of scriptures before we roll, all right? Give me Luke 22 and 31, and also Ecclesiasticus 2 and 1. What time we have?
9:27.
9:27. No sweat. Yeah, we're about done. This is a call for Luke what?
Book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
You see, Luke, where's this? Luke 22 and 1? Yeah. All right, read it again from the top.
Book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
You understand? Now, Christ is talking to his disciples here, but he's talking to who here? Peter, right? That's who Simon is. I think that was his name before it was changed to Peter, right? Or Aban in the Hebrew, right? Give me verse 7.
Book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread, when the Passover must be killed. And he sent Peter and John, saying, Go and prepare us the Passover, that we may eat.
Right? So now he's sending them to prepare Passover. What do you know about when Christ was having that Passover meal? What was that?
That's when he was saying, take this wine and take this bread.
And what do they call that today? Go ahead.
Last Supper.
The Last Supper. Why?
Because Christ was
Christ was about to give himself over to be lynched. Right? This was close to the end. So now this is what's going on here. They prepare the Passover meal. He start breaking it. Now go to 31.
Verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Right? He's telling Peter, say, Peter, Peter, behold, Satan has desired to sift you as wheat. He is giving Peter a warning because he's about to not be there. He gone. It's towards the end. We approaching the end of this world now. We approaching the very end. I don't know how much you all realize, brother, but America is in the hands of two legitimate geriatric people. AARP are falling, I can't get up. That's who is going to be in charge, no matter how you look at it. Whoever wins the next election is going to be a senior citizen in a climate that's full of war. We are at the end of that. I'm just letting you know. And it's very good to take this warning from Yahushua, from our King, that Satan is seeking to sift us as wheat. What does it mean to sift you as wheat?
To separate you.
To a sieve, a sift. The sift is the action of shaking it, right? Or how they would put it in the sieve, something like a strainer, a tool like that, where they would shake it around and then toss it in the air in a direction, and the wind would blow away the chaff, and then the wheat would fall, the grain would fall right there because it's heavier. But the sifting action is shaking you to and fro. Shaking you to and fro. And we in that season, brother. You in that season where it's like, because it's close, just like the end of a movie. What happens at the end of a movie with the villain? Y'all don't watch movies no more.
They give you that last gasp, that secret, plan to pull out all the stops.
I'll take that. Go ahead.
They die.
Well, before they die, just the movies now is about 2 hours long, just around 1:30. 1:20, 1 hour 20 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes. The movie, right? It's going down. It's at the peak of it now. What's the villain? Hold on, let me let him answer. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, look like he's gonna win.
He starts to turn up the volume on how he operates. All right, go ahead.
I couldn't think of the word, but basically he starts
he starts unraveling. He start unraveling. He start getting anxious. He start doing all kind of extra shit, because now is either make or break. And that's what's happening in this earth. This earth is going to and fro in a short second, in a very, very short second. Right? And Christ is telling Peter, listen, man, behold, Satan seeks to sift you like wheat. And you're going to go through that season. If some of us are already going through it already. You get the point? You're going to go through it. And it's important to understand what's going on so you don't lose your mind. Because you could lose your damn mind. You could be like, what the hell is this shit? But you got to understand, this is the last attempt at getting you to fall from the tree. It's like shaking the tree. That's what it is. Get the point? Read it one more time.
Book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
That he may sift you as wheat, and shake you up and separate you to and fro. Go ahead.
Oh, God. Verse 32. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Right, but Christ is telling him, don't worry about nothing. I done send prayers up for you, that your faith fail not. So as you in the battle and the grind, just know you got support. Just don't drop that sword. Don't put down that sword. Don't yield. Don't do nothing that you wouldn't have did when things was good. You understand? Don't falter. And once you realize you get through the storm, make sure you strengthen the rest of the men and the women. Get the point? Make sure you do it, because Satan is going to try to run through. He's going to do it. And he's going to target every and anybody. Listen, he target Peter. This is Christ's right hand man. Christ knew it. He's giving him fair warning. All right. Give me also Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Read it again.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Go ahead.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Read it one more time. Oh boy, that's this here. The everything I'm reading here, these last two ones, the one in Luke and this one, I'm about to get another one, I think, in Acts. Right? These are very good, especially you in the truth for a while. You take this to refresh your spirit, but especially if you're a young brother or sister coming in, this is good for you. This is good for you because, of course, just like somebody who was in, like how Peter was in, Christ says Satan seeking to sift him. He looking at you coming in, young brothers and sisters coming in like low-hanging fruit, like a soft target, like that's easy work. Same way. So you better set your mind to this thing here. Read it again from the top. Find me in Acts where Paul was saying what somebody coming out of the world should do. Meat sacrifice to idols. Refrain. Go ahead.
Verse 2 and 1.
Start at 1.
It Ecclesiasticus 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
You come up in here and you seek to do what these brothers to do what these brothers do, to follow in the footsteps of Commander and Yahanna, to follow in the footsteps of the prophets. This is not the NFL. This is not the NBA. Everybody talking about Bronny getting hate, Bronny getting hate. That nigga getting, he signed for $7 million a year or some shit like that. 7.9 million for 4 years, some shit like that. Listen, hate me for the rest of my life for that type of money. I don't give a damn. Make movies about me, nigga. But this, what you coming in here, you prepare your soul for temptation. Prepare your soul to be vexed and tempted and to go to and fro. Get prepared and know that this is an attack. It's an attack. It does not mean the truth is wrong. I'm telling people you come in the truth for the first time and you buckling in and you're starting to feel the growth. You're starting to understand things. You're seeing things different. You're talking different. And then something happens, you lose your slave, or some broad and evil bitch leave you, or the kids don't like you no more. And you start to say, see, man, that's the proof. I know God was trying to tell me this is wrong. No, God is trying to tell you it's right. And he's trying to see if you love them more than you love him. The Bible says he who loved mother and father more than me is not worthy of me. He's trying to see what you would lose. He's trying to see how he puts in you through a test. He want to see what you're really made of. He's trying to check you out. So no, you prepare your soul for temptation. You understand what's going on. And that's that's half of winning a battle, knowing you're in a battle. When you don't know you're in a fight, you tend to ask why. When you know you're in the fight, you tend to be like, pow. You ain't asking why. We fighting. That's the answer. That's the why. Come on.
It's like I always wonder that too when somebody gets stoned in their mouth and they be like, why you hit me? What do you mean? Why?
At this point, we ain't, why'd you hit me? The barrel headed straight for the calf kidney. You know what I mean? That's what needs to happen now. Go ahead, Art.
I asked that question during the Hebrew Academy.
Get yourself a hand. Confession good for the soul. Listen, the academy was meant to make you ask that shit. Hell, I'll tell you this. Listen, I have a personal story about that Hebrew Academy, brother, that lit a fire under me. I'm meant to make whoever said it to me eat their words. And I think I did. Hell, you know what I mean? Like it's a test. It's to see if you'll rise to the occasion. It's to see that, but part of it is knowing this is a test. You can't come to serve the Lord and be sappy and sorry for yourself. You can't do that. You get the point? You're going to have to go and follow through with what it is. All right? Read it again.
My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Mm-hmm.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Set your heart aright. Set your heart what? Up. Set your mind right, upright. Because of what you're learning. Now you go back to that and keep focused. Set your mind or set your heart aright and what?
And constantly endure.
And constantly endure. Be willing to go through it. Be willing to go through it. You have to be willing to go through it. Some people are not willing to go through much. And that's why the life is how it is. You get the point? That whole LGBTQ, they're the most irresponsible people in the world. They all want to adopt kids from breaking up our families. Why they don't go have kids of their own? Because they don't want to go through it. They don't want to do the work. Them all, old egg-shaped old lesbians with the Teletubby green hair and all kind of shit. You don't want to do the work to make yourself look like a, piece of, good seasoned meat to a man. You don't want to do the work to make yourself look attractive to him. And you Solomonites, you don't want to do the work to make yourself manly so a woman be attracted to you so you could get in there and get to making that baby. And then you don't want to do the work for 9 months. Big up all them sisters who go through that 9 months over and over and over. and now bring forth this baby and then make the sacrifice and go through the work and endure to raise the child up. Nah, you want to live that old, queer life, free of responsibility, while you raise all the rent in DC and pay minimum wage to everybody, all the gentrifiers is LGBTQ, destroy our homes, make halfway homes for the kids, then go adopt the kids that I made. That's them. They're the most irresponsible people on the earth. Irresponsible. Don't want no sorts of real responsibility. They just want to pick the fruit that somebody else grew. Get the point? Not you. You ought to set your mind upright, and be ready to go through and endure and toil and labor to see this thing through. Go ahead.
Okay. And make not haste in time of trouble.
What does that mean? Make not haste in time of trouble. Go ahead.
Don't let your flag fly, your colors fly. Don't run away.
Don't run away in time of trouble. Make not haste in time of trouble. When you're young in the truth, it's easy to make haste. It's easy to do it. It's easy because it seems like, taking a break helps. When you're in the world, taking a break helps. When you're in here, taking a break is like kryptonite. You going through trouble, knock on that door. You in hell, you knock on that door. You lose your home, you knock on that door, you show up for class. Your woman leave you, you knock on that door. Your man leave you, you knock on that door. 7 o'clock, you knock on that door. Your kids, say, Daddy, I hate you. Mommy, I hate you. 7 p.m., you knock on that door. You don't make haste in times of trouble. You don't make haste. You get down in it. You get down more in the mud. The land ahead of you is full of mud and it's, mucky and murky. What you looking for another path for? Nigga, get down there and start to walk. Get in it. Don't take a break. That's how you die. That's how you die. You come in here, brother or sister, nothing should keep you away from the school. I don't care what it is. You could go and get blasted high. You come and sit in this class high and get convicted here. Don't stay home and get convicted and cry and think you're gonna fix yourself. Come in here and look the people in the eyes who in your mind you don't think you're disappointed. When I'm gonna give you a secret, we don't give a damn. Nobody in here cares, but everybody in here is happy to see you though. Hey, Shalom, brother, what's going on? And in their mind, hey, so and so looking a little bit off today. What's going on? You need anything, brother? You want water? We're still happy to see you, dumbass. Because I know at some point somebody was happy to see my dumbass, even though I was far from right and still far from it. You make sure you knock on that door. The minute you decide to not come, you done dropped your sword and really you're worthy of death. You're not even worthy anymore. But you knock on that door, you're going to get through whatever is plaguing you, whatever is trying to sift you like wheat. You cannot give up. You can't drop your sword. You can't turn back. Let me get this last precept about removing your hand from the hold on. I think I want some more in 2. Go ahead, Shabbat.
I would say the Lord don't like you lukewarm.
He don't want you lukewarm. He wants you hot or cold, extreme. Right? Keep reading, Bakwash. Verse 2.
Verse 3.
Verse 3. Salakia.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
Cleave unto the school. Cleave unto the Lord. Cleave unto the truth. And don't turn away. So you will be increased at the end. At the end of what? Whatever the hell you're going through. See it through, nigga. See it through. Read on.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully.
Read it again.
Whatever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Listen, be patient. Run it through. Run that shit through, man. And take it cheerfully. Don't let that shit bitter your spirit and bitter your whole vibe and bitter everything about you. Because that's what Satan wants. He wants that shit to course through your blood like poison. and eventually just destroy your whole spirit. He don't want that. He said, listen, just go through it. Don't worry about it. Keep reading.
Okay. Verse 5. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
Listen, if it is you want to be an acceptable man, you're going to have to go through something. You're going to have to go through a lot. And woman, your sisters in here know. You're going to have to be able to go through it. We're fighting for a kingdom arc. Tomorrow, the white man is going to celebrate Independence Day. The news this week said it's estimated. I'm going to ask you all, how much money you think Americans are going to spend on Independence Day as a collective? Don't Google it unless you heard the story.
I'm going like 100 billion.
Nope. Definitely not that much. 100 billion, that's a lot of. That's.
I say about 5 billion.
Nope.
100 million?
Mm-mm. No sweat. They say Americans are estimated tomorrow to spend $9.4 billion on just Independence Day spending. Fireworks, hot dogs, bread, coal, the grill, ketchup. $9.4 billion passive money. They're about the whole country about to spend tomorrow. They're telling you the rules for down on the mall tomorrow, where they're going to have the fireworks and the parade, and telling you no weapons allowed, no alcohol, coolers this size, you're going to be turned away, blah, 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 blah. Brother, you trying to get something similar and at the same time topple that. You can't go through some shit. You can't go through it. Then you don't deserve it. That's all. If you can't go through that for your kingdom, they're going to celebrate independence tomorrow, which really celebrating your dependence. Because while they were saying when the rockets did fly, we were slaves in the barn. We was cooking their in the first Independence Day food. And you can't go through some shit to get your kingdom? You better turn up at that door, Negro. You better turn up at that door, says Negrette, nigger and niggerette. You better turn up at that door in tears, high, hang over, sit in that chair. Sit in that chair until the storm passes. Go ahead.
So what you're just bringing out is heavy, because even when you put on a party or a celebration or an event, you're going to go through something. Because I remember, I was a small part of the Passover event, and the stuff that we went through for that was heavy. I'm
trying to tell you, and that was no small part. Y'all was a major part of the shit. Hell, without y'all, we probably couldn't have no Passover. We had to ask for the lamb to fall from the sky. And that's life in the UPK. The life of service. When you hear stuff brothers go through on a daily basis, sisters go through on a daily basis, what could happen that will make me leave the truth? I don't give a damn. You're going to have to kill me in these boots. You're going to have to put me down in these boots, because there's brothers and sisters going through some shit, brother, some horrible shit, and they're showing up. What is your excuse? Would you come in here just for feel good? The Lord needs soldiers, man. The Lord needs princesses. And this is for the taking. You show up. That's an order. You don't show up, you're disobeying orders. You show up. You knock on that door. It's not your job to fix you. It's the school's job to fix you. Your job is to come and serve the Lord and help build this nation. With that, pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shepard.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K on the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of Jimmy Yahanna. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When the new brother or sister comes into the school, they offer them for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. and here to share themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, and it's pronounced I.S.U.P.K. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department of Teaching. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whichever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, memorial blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, Wednesday the 2nd, October 2024. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. Also, we got cookout, I.S.U.P.K cookout season coming up. We got the ATL cookout started off July 4th tomorrow to the 7th. Who you gonna cook out with? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. This may be who you with, the Lord or America. You know what I'm saying? Then we got the Midwest cookout, fire weekend in Detroit, August the 1st through the 4th. Then we got the headquarters cookout in New York, August the 30th through September the 2nd. Then we got the Southern California cookout, September the 26th through the 29th. And last but not least, the Houston cookout, October the 31st through November 3rd. Remind Akme Akwapton to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you should start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband or scarf. And with that, I say I-S-U.P.K, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Man Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yad Yamatar, Saw, which means to turn. Since you may stand, I-S-U.P.K. We'll give a courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Man Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yad Yamatar, class dismissed.